Having to replace a perfectly good laptop just because it doesn't have enough internal storage is terrible. You have a machine that does everything that you need. It's fast enough, it's powerful enough, has a great display, keyboard, and trackpad, and the only issue is that you're constantly running out of space. If you're buying a new MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, the internal storage is not upgradable. So how much storage do you actually need? What's going to be enough for what you plan on doing? And what are the best ways to save money on storage? Today we're going to talk about these questions, look at several different use cases, and I'll help you choose the right option for you. The base models of both the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro come with 256 gigabytes of storage. The MacBook Air is $999 and the MacBook Pro is $1,299. But you don't actually get the entire 256 gigabytes to work with, and more on this in a minute. If you want to upgrade to 512 gigs of storage, it'll cost you $200 with both models. Going up to 1 terabyte will be $400, and then going all the way up to 2 terabytes is $800. That's a pretty steep price to pay for storage. By comparison, upgrading the Dell XPS 13 from 256 gigs to 1 terabyte costs $225, so almost half the price of the Apple upgrade. But I digress. So let's get to how much storage you actually need for your MacBook. A common mistake that people make is thinking that when they buy 256 gigs of storage, they actually get 256 gigs of free space. But the MacBook doesn't come empty. It has an operating system, pre-installed apps, and even without those, you'll see that the storage size is listed as 251 gigs. And then when you look at the more detailed section, it shows even less. And at the time that I recorded this video, the operating system takes up almost 23 gigabytes of storage. I have about 9 gigs of application, and the rest of the documents, photos, music, and other, which consists of cache files, temporary files, disk images, and archives, and other documents that don't fit into a clear category. Together with everything else that I have installed, this leaves me with right under 174 gigs of free storage to play with. Of course, if you see apps that you don't plan on using, you can just remove them and then free up some additional space. But now let's get to how much space you actually need. Clearly, this depends on how you plan on using your MacBook. Is it simply a device for browsing the web, streaming content, and working with web-based applications? Or is this your primary device used for things like photo and video editing, creating presentations, and working with large apps that require a ton of local storage? If you're in the first group and are mostly using this device to consume content, work with cloud-based applications, and this is not the computer that you'll be using to back up your phone, then 256 gigs should be enough. Like I showed you, even with adding some apps like Premiere Pro and some video files, I still had 174 gigs of free storage. But if you're part of the second group and are going to do more with your MacBook, then let's dive a little bit deeper. The best place to start is to look at your current use. If you have a Mac, click on the Apple logo on the top left, select About This Mac, and then click on the Storage tab. Give the system a few seconds to do some math, and you'll see a simplified breakdown. For more information, you can click on Manage, where you can see even more. Now don't forget that this is what you're already using up, and you will definitely have higher demands moving forward. The operating system will take up more space as time goes on, apps are going to get bigger, and you may need additional apps that you aren't currently using. So I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Do you plan on backing up your phone to this MacBook? And are you going to keep every photo and video on your local hard drive? And by the way, if you're looking for a detailed comparison between the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, don't forget to check out that video. The next question is, do you download movies from Netflix, Amazon, or other streaming platforms so that you have access to them for offline viewing? Moving on, does your work require you to keep any large files on your local drive? Things like presentations or video files? Do you plan on downloading a lot of games? And then finally, will you be working with photo and video files off of your local storage? Now, these are not easy questions to answer, so I'm going to walk you through my answers in order to give you some insights, and then we'll see how we can save some money. Now, starting with phone backup, no, I won't be backing up my phone to either MacBooks. I do that on my primary workstation, which is actually connected to a NAS system, and that's where I keep all of my backups. Another great affordable solution is iCloud, where you can get 2 terabytes of storage for $9.99 a month. And you can actually share that between multiple devices and with other family members. Moving on to downloaded content, I don't ever download movies to my laptop. It's extremely rare that I'm in a situation where I don't have Wi-Fi or cell service. And when we travel, I normally download that type of content to my iPad. But if you plan on doing that, make sure that you account for how many movies you want to have available at a time. And even if you download shorter shows instead of movies, remember that you're probably going to download multiple episodes. And as far as music goes, that usually lives on my iPhone and not my laptop. Now moving on to work requirements. So my work does require that I have pretty large files available, but they don't need to be on my local storage, and I'll get back to that when I get to number 5. Gaming, I don't really use these laptops as my primary gaming device, so that's not really a consideration for me. But if I did, I would look at how much space each game requires and then how many games I wanted to have installed at a time. Now going back to photo and video. I do work with a lot of photo and video files, but I don't put them on my local storage. Regardless of how much storage I got, even if it was 2 terabytes, it still wouldn't be enough space to store just the video files that I created last year. For my main storage, I use a Synology disk station, and I just connect my laptop to the network, and then I'm good to go. If I needed a portable solution, then there are a lot of outstanding SSDs available, which are small, light, extremely fast, and are significantly more affordable. So I just use one of those instead. I'm working on a comparison of some of my favorites, and that video will be up soon. Right now, the one that I'm using is the CalDigit Tough Nano, which has been extremely fast and reliable, but you'll be able to see my complete results when that video is published. Now, before I move on to talking about what I think the best options are, if you like what you've seen so far and have gotten value from this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. It helps the video and the channel, and it lets me know what kind of content you like so that I can make more of it. And if it's your first time here, hit the subscribe and notification buttons so you can stay up to date on all the latest Apple gear and tutorials. If you're only using your MacBook for consuming content, browsing the web, social media, working with cloud-based apps, and even working with local productivity apps like Pages, Numbers, Word, or Excel, which don't normally have very large files, 256 gigs would actually work for you and save you a bunch of cash. If you think your current needs are even close to about 150 gigs, I would just upgrade to 512 because that laptop should easily last you for the next 5 or 7 years based on its performance. And you don't want to have it replaced just because you're running out of storage. If you plan on working with photo and video files that live on your local drive, then you need to ask yourself, how much access do you need? Do you need all your files on your MacBook at all times, or are you working with a few projects at a time? And then look at how big each project is. Also think about whether you'll be gaming on this device and look at which games you want to download and how many of them. Again, err on the side of caution here because games will definitely be getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. If this is your primary device and you plan on backing up your phone, storing all your image and video files, you'll probably want to go with at least 1 terabyte or even 2 terabytes so that you have plenty of space. Remember that you can always get affordable iCloud storage and a fast external SSD that you can share between devices. Both options give you a ton of storage and multi-device versatility. If you want to see why I replaced my original MacBook Pro, check out this video right here. If you're looking for a comparison of the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, check out this video right here. Don't forget to click on my face to join the community. You know what I always say, buy it nice or buy it twice. Good luck and see you soon.